morning, everybody, and welcome back. Jeff has to work this morning, so I'm taking this opportunity to get something done, maybe surprise him. It'll surprise me if I get it done, but I'm using, it's a Lenox door lock installation kit. I'm sure if y'all have put in doors before, y'all know how this works. I don't. I've never installed the doorknob myself before that didn't already have an existing hole. I hope that makes sense. I've replaced doorknobs before, but I've never made the hole myself. And here's the problem. If I mess this up, I have to like paint a whole new door, and I really don't want to. These shaker doors are really awesome, and I'm saving the rest for another project. I don't want to have to redo it. So pray with me that I don't mess this up. Leave down below in the comments anything you think I could have done differently, because by the time you see this video, I'll have already had this done or have already messed it up, depending on how this goes. So let's get started. So again, this is the Lenox door lock installation kit, and it says it's pretty easy. It says attach, drill, and install. They make it sound easy, but you know, I'm handy. I'm just not as handy as Jeff. So this one will do 1 3/8 or 1 3/4 thickness of the door. I've already measured this. This door is 1 3/8. Instructions are just right here on the back. Bear with me, I'm gonna read these real quick. It says to install your door lock guide requires setup prior to use. You will need to set the guide for both the door thickness and the back set, which is how far back the doorknob goes. By removing and rotating the black bushings to the desired measurement. These are blue. They say black on here, but they're definitely blue. They're definitely blue. Common doors are either 1 3/8 or 1 3/4. I already measured this, like I said, it's 1 3/8. Setting the guide to the correct door thickness will result in an edge bore in the center of the door thickness. The back set distance is defined by the lock set, that is being installed. Common back set distances are 2 3/8 and 2 3/4. This distance is measured from the door edge here to the center of the lock set. Center of the lock set paperwork. Check the lock set paperwork to determine the required back set distance. It's very important both the door thickness and back set distance are displayed in the sight windows of the guide prior to mounting the guide on the door. Position guide at desired lock set height. We're going to be putting it around here using the arrow shaped window. There's a little arrow shaped window right there. I don't know if you can see it. Clamp securely, drill edge bore using the 1-inch diameter hole saw. Drill to the full depth of the hole saw. Drill face bore utilizing the 2 1/8 diameter hole saw. Stop drilling when the pilot bit exits the far side. Withdraw the hole saw and finish hole from the opposite side using the hole created by the pilot drill. Do not drill through the hole saw as splintering may result. Remove guide, complete installation by following instructions that came with the lock set. Okay. Hope that made sense. So on this middle piece right here, the blue bushing, which they say is black, I'm not crazy. This has these little notches and round spots, and they just fit right in there. So if you pop it in that way, or you can turn it over, do it that way, pushing it all the way in. It's got the sizes on both ends. Sorry, upside down. It's either 1 3/4 or 1 3/8. There is this little divot right here, and so we wanted to show 1 3/8 inside that divot. And there we go. It says 1 3/8, which is the thickness of our door. For the back set, I don't know if you can see these tiny little engravings right here on the back set lock piece, and it's either 2 3/8 or 2 3/4. I'm doing 2 3/8, which is all right here. So we're gonna take this blue bushing, which also has a little window to show the size, and it same as the small bushing, 2 3/8, or pop it out, and now it says 2 3/4. So we've got our bushings set up, and I'm gonna attach this to the door because we're gonna start drilling. Now this is real easy. You're just gonna screw it right on. It's a little dark in here, so I apologize. Make sure we're right where we need to be. Normally you would mark on the door where you want it to be. I'm lucky enough that this insulation kit, this template, lines up perfectly with the door itself. So I actually don't have to measure anything because it fits just perfect in the middle. The arrow set up exactly in the center where I want it for the lock set. Now it says to drill the edge bore first, which is this 1-inch wood bore. And I believe these go through steel as well. So that works out really well. And when it all boils down to it, if you can find these kits on sale, it's almost worth it just for the 2 bores, because they do wood and metal. So if you can get a really good deal on the kit, just buy it just for these. This threads on right here to the bit. And we're going to take our drill. Okay, y'all, there is no turning back now. I'm going to drill this hole. Let's see how this goes. Okay, you might get a little backlight on this, but I'm going to hopefully not be in your way too much so you can see. But I want to show you, there is, I'm not sure how well you can see it, there is some play in the hole. So when you're doing this, you really want to make sure you're very careful and you do this as level as possible and as centered as possible, because if you're off, it's going to throw off your entire door, I'm sure. Here we go. And you're going to go the full depth of the hole saw. It's not a clean job, so if you're in your house, make sure you have like something down, because you're going to have sawdust everywhere. We're going to put the 2 1/8 hole saw on. Now be careful when you're putting these on. For those that don't use the drill very much, grab here, not here, because these will cut you. Alright, now we're going to drill. We're going to go from one side and drill through, and then we're going to take it out and drill from the other side. So what we're doing is we're going to drill through here, and when the drill exits this side, we're going to take the drill out, and we're going to come to the other side and drill that way. What they don't tell you is, how do you know? I don't have a mirror over there. I don't have someone standing over there. But I think I can do this. Again, you want to get it as level as possible. As you can see, the bit started to come out. So now I'm going to come to this side and use this as a guide to drill the other direction. So I'm curious, do I take this off and flip it over? I'm pretty sure you're not supposed to take it off and flip it over to use the bushing on the other side. But I'm going to, because I have shaky hands. I'm just checking to make sure it is perfect. I'm going to use the 1-inch bore to put it right where I drilled earlier, to make sure I have it just right. Let's see if it worked. Yay! It's smooth all the way across, so that works. Alright, so now we're going to install the doorknob itself, but before we can do that, roosters. This is the, I don't know what they call this plate. Strike plate is what it goes up against. Not sure what this plate is called, but regardless. This will not sit flush with the door. So this right here, it sits on the door, but not flush into the door. So what we need to do is we need to mark it out where it's going to sit, and then we're going to create what's called a mortise cut around and chisel it out so that this sits flush into with the edge of the door. So you want to make sure it's right in the center. Now, all we're going to do is we're going to use our chisel, we're going to cut, and then we're going to chisel out. Alright, so now that I've got it around, I'm just going to go down, I'm going to make marks and just break it out. It needs to go down about 1/16 of an inch. It doesn't have to be super pretty, it's for me. And when the door is closed, you can't see it anyway. So I've got it sitting flush. We need to drill some pilot holes for the top and the bottom here for this to sit in flush. And remember, when you're putting these on, have the smooth curved edge go towards the way the door is shutting. Okay? So I'm just going to mark my holes, and then I'm going to drill a pilot hole through there so I can put the screws in. So if any adjusting needs to be done, now's the time to do it, and you can test that by putting this in and making sure everything's lined up right. Covers the holes. Looks good. Now this is the easiest thing there is. If you're just changing out a doorknob, that's essentially what this is. Just gonna put the other side on. Okay, so there's square here, and this is a square. So you just wanna slide it on there and make sure it lines up with the square. You've got, should have, 2 of these long screws. They're going to go right in here. Now you want those to line up right here with these. What you can do is you can put them in first to kind of help you line it up. I'm going to finish this up and I'll be right back. So I've got it on there, and it even locks. So yay, got the doorknob on. I did it with the Lenox insulation kit. I don't think I messed it up too bad. It was a little difficult being this old door, and I've never put a hole in to install the doorknob. I've only ever changed them out, and it works, which is a big bonus, and I did it without anyone's help. So if I can do it, anyone can do it. I hope you learned some. If you have any tips or tricks on how to do this in the future, please leave those down below, because I have 3 more of these doors to do. And then, of course, we'll have 100 more doors. So leave those comments down below. Hope y'all learned something, and y'all have a fantastic and wonderful day. We'll see you next time. God bless.